Hi, welcome back to another edition of Max and Nicky 1000th Time Reactions,
where we react to a song after listening to it for our 1000th time.
We release 3 videos a day.
Every day.
So make sure to hit that subscribe button.
And turn on post notifications.
So you don't miss out on all this great content of ours.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So what are we going to listen to right now, Max?
We're going to listen to Oh Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, this song is pretty ubiquitous. I mean, it's hard to turn on an oldie station on the radio and not hear this at least once a day.
Although I will say oldie stations nowadays are not ubiquitous, actually.
Sure.
At least oldies, in my opinion.
Yeah, for oldies for us is 50s and 60s music. But it's a great song. But before we get into listening and reacting to it, just want to remind you all, as we usually do, that we have another YouTube channel called Max and Nicky, on which we perform oldies tunes like this one, jazz standards, and originals in that vein.
And we got comedy videos on there as well. Mm-hmm. But for right now, let's take a listen to Oh Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison.
For our 1000th time.
Here we go.
Pretty woman, walking down the street, pretty woman, the kind I like to meet, pretty woman. I don't believe you, you're not the truth. No one could look as good as you. Mercy. Pretty woman, won't you pardon me, pretty woman? I couldn't help but see, pretty woman. And you look lovely as can be. Are you lonely just like me? Wow. Pretty woman, stop a while. Pretty woman, talk a while. Pretty woman, give your smile to me. Pretty woman, yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty woman, look my way. Pretty woman, say you'll stay with me. 'Cause I need you, I'll treat you right. Come with me, baby, be mine tonight. Pretty woman, don't walk on by. Pretty woman, don't make me cry. Pretty woman, don't walk away. Hey, okay, if that's the way it must be, okay. I guess I'll go on home, it's late. There'll be tomorrow night, but wait, what do I see? Is she walking back to me? Yeah, she's walking back to me. Oh, pretty woman.
It's a classic song.
Classic song, classic pop tune right there.
I also
Roy
like
Orbison.
the sort of first-person nature of the song, you know?
Right, first-person
He's
nature.
singing it in the moment to a pretty woman.
Right, he's like basically telling this pretty woman that he wants her, also not to, don't walk on by, don't leave me standing here, basically. And then at the end, it's, but wait. And then all the instruments stop except for the drums, and it's like this pulse, almost like a heartbeat, like what's happening.
Almost.
And
he's like,
and it's almost like time is standing still.
and it's like, it's suspenseful.
It's suspenseful. It creates suspense. Much like the sound of this.
yeah, there's a truck outside
backing up
that's,
right now.
we can-
But and then he says, "Oh wait, she's walking
No.
back to me."
No, she says, but wait.
Wait.
What do I see?
What do I see?
What do I see?
Is she walking back to me?
Yes, she's walking back to me.
Right. Yeah, and so it's like, okay, well, he's turned out in his favor in the end, which is cool. That's a great little kind of
it's interesting. The end
first
there when
person
he
narrative
goes,
there.
Oh, pretty woman. The O's. It sounds like the vocals are clipping at that point where they're
really?
it's
I
getting
didn't notice
distorted a little bit. Maybe
Well-
just the way it was recorded.
I love a lot of those songs that during the time these times that the end there's kind of a last drum hit at the end, and it creates this. You can really hear the effect of the reverb there at the end. Pretty woman,
It's like the
or
this
pretty
echo.
woman. The last hit, or all the instruments hitting at once, and you hear the last echo or the last reverberation of it all. It's very cool effect.
My favorite part of the song is actually the bridge section. I like musically the way that's constructed. Pretty woman walking away, pretty woman give your smile to me, pretty. Yeah,
'Cause I need you, I'll treat
I like how
you
it
right.
transitions into that.
Right.
Come with me, baby, be mine. I think that's because he could have just ended that bridge before that second part
Well,
of the
there's
bridge.
a lot of different
but
flavors in here going on. Actually, there's
also that kind of Spanish sound.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. There's this kind of late '50s, early '60s thing where it goes bum dun 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 kind of thing with a kind of 1/6,
yeah.
4/5 or 2/5/1
kind of
chords.
a Spanish thing, yeah.
No, not that. Not the Spanish
Oh,
thing.
okay.
And then it does it later on has a more of a Spanish flamenco-y kind of thing. No, it hasn't goes. It just does this kind of
like that.
dum brum dum 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 kind of a thing.
Right, kind of a
I know it doesn't. Me vocalizing it doesn't. It kind of almost sounds similar to what I just said.
You guys
But
know what we're talking about.
You know what I'm talking
right?
about. But then it also has kind of a bluesy kind of a thing. In the beginning, where it's like boom, 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 boom.
That's an iconic riff, by the way. When that
riff.
starts, you know what the song is, right?
Right. Actually, sometimes we've been playing this game that's online called Hurdle, where it does a little snippet of a song, and you have to guess
What the
the
song
song is based on the first snippet, and then it progressively
They give you more.
of the tune if you can't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I got in less than 1 second of this song, I was able to guess what the song was.
Me too.
Based on the drums, just the drums, the hit of the drums.
Yeah,
Were you able to get it on that?
Sure, yeah. It's interesting.
Because it has it's a little reverbed out,
I was watching some other people
But
react.
yes, the riff in the beginning is very iconic. But it has this dominant 7 feel, which is kind of a blues kind of thing.
I was watching some other people react to this song fairly recently, and they said that they didn't like how he keeps repeating "pretty woman" over and over again. But I think I like that. That's a part of the. That's part of the
first person
structure of the
narrative
song.
of it.
It's
kind
part
of
of the structure of the lyrical content, right?
Oh.
It's like, but also is about.
but it's also kind
about,
of like he's seems like he's sort of taken by this pretty woman.
No, but
and
it's
he
not
hopes
just
that.
it's not just that. He's also like, pretty woman, stay a while. A pretty woman, like he's talking to her, and that he can call the way he is able to communicate to her. He doesn't know her name. He just calls her, "Hey, pretty woman." You know?
You think that he's actually talking to her?
I do.
Oh, I don't think so. Because that's a
Pretty woman, stay a while. Yeah.
Oh, then that does make it seem maybe a little dated if you think of it like. I don't think of it like that because that sounds like something maybe back in the day they would do. I mean,
Well, I think that is the case, but yeah,
really
maybe
keeps that's a little weird. I think if that's the.
I guess,
I don't
but
know. I never thought of it like that.
at the
myself.
same time,
I thought of
though-
it as it being kind of in his
at the
head,
same
and
time,
he's just
though,
kind of thinking.
Hold on.
this, you
At
know?
the same time, though, his persistence pays off in the end, right? Obviously,
yeah,
you don't want
but
to be
you don't
creepy
wanna,
about it.
You don't.
But
Yeah, persistence can be good, but it can also be if you're persistent in a forceful manner. You don't want to do
sure,
that.
but hey, there's a couple we
also,
know there.
keep calling someone, "Hey, pretty woman." I mean, that is a bit creepy. you know?
Sure, but
Also-
it just depends on how you're doing it. I mean, there's a guy
I
we know.
wouldn't keep
There's a couple
calling
we know
somebody a
that
pretty
who are
woman.
married right now. They were working together years ago at a cheesecake factory of all places, and the guy he asked the girl out a number of times, and I think it was the 4th time he asked her out that she finally agreed to go out on a date with him, and they fell in love. They got married. They have a few kids now, and We actually
think she
played
did.
music at their wedding, but just goes to show you
They
that
are really one of the most perfect couples ever.
and they're the two of the nicest people
I know,
you ever
but
met.
I'm saying- Yes.
some people might think, oh, he would have been too aggressive asking her out 4
No,
times, but
I don't-
But his persistence led to a beautiful relationship,
yes,
right?
but people would find it aggressive if he was being aggressive, but he was not being. He's a very kind of mild-mannered guy, actually, and
Sure.
I think he had his persistence was probably he meant it,
playful.
but he was also like kind of tongue-in-cheek about
Sure,
it.
okay,
And probably
well, anyway.
did it in a humorous way that probably
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, we're
made her
talking a little
feel,
too much.
didn't make her feel threatened.
All right.
you know?
All right. But this is. I guess you can interpret the song the way you would.
I
want.
didn't think. See, in my head, I didn't think of it like that. I thought of it more of like this is kind of a thing that's happening in his head that he's hoping this woman will come and take a look at him, you know, and hope that she comes back his way. And he's just thinking, oh, look at this pretty woman, you know, and he's hoping for her to come back towards his way. That's the way I think of it, you know.
But he's talking to her at the end. He's saying, pretty woman, don't walk away. Okay, if that's the way, it must be okay.
But
I guess
but
I'll go
why
on
is that?
almost
Why
like,
is that?
There'll be
Why,
tomorrow night, but wait, what do I see?
Why does
is she
that-
walking back to me?
that doesn't mean that he's necessarily talking to her.
Well, he's following her.
No, she could be passing by him.
What are you talking about? No, I think you're misinterpreting.
I think
this.
you're misinterpreting it.
I think I'm interpreting this correctly.
Explain how he's following her.
Pretty woman, stay a while with me. Pretty woman, yeah. You're
You're
give your
still
smile
not.
to me because I knew I'd treat you at. Oh, anyway, he's saying, he's talking to her. At the end,
No, he's not.
Yes.
He's not. He doesn't explicitly say that
says-
he's talking to her.
he's saying, "Pretty woman, stay a while." Or what are the lyrics at the end?
I mean,
He's saying, don't go away. Okay, if that's the way, it must be okay.
that's funny that you're interpreting it as though that. It's almost like I'm thinking. It's in his head. He's like, "Oh, pretty woman, don't go away." Okay, it looks like she is gonna go away, and it's in his head.
Why
though,
would she come back to him?
Because maybe he's hoping for her to come back. But
Why?
Why not?
He hasn't talked. According to you, he hasn't talked to her at all.
And maybe he's a shy guy that's hoping for her to come back to him.
I don't think you're right. I just don't think.
Or
you're
maybe
right.
maybe
it makes more sense the way I'm
no,
saying.
it doesn't. Or maybe they've talked in the past, and maybe they've had some past interaction, and maybe this night he's hoping that maybe this time she'll come back his way. And who knows? Maybe they did talk, but the things that are going on in his mind are these things that he's talking about.
Well,
in the
anyway,
song.
we can
That's
agree to
that's the
disagree,
way I'm thinking about
or
it.
agree that there are multiple ways to interpret the song. Why don't you comment down below and let us know what your interpretation of the lyrics are? But I think the song is great. It's catchy. We love to sing it. We love to play it on the radio. Whatever, it's a ubiquitous. I think that'll do it for this reaction video. If you like what you heard and saw today, please hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications to find out about more Max and Nicky reaction videos.
Please keep tuning in.